Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I'm Gypsy Girl, here to give you another monthly reading for the elements for August of 2023. This will be for the water element. Wherever you have water in your chart, you may very well be affected by this monthly reading. You can check with your birth chart where you have the Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio signs, what planets may be in or around them. That way you can gauge if you have a moon sign of any of the water elements, then definitely your perception is affected, how you feel about what is going on around you. Oh, we have a few messages. Oh boy, quite a few messages. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, the Two of Swords with the Emperor. So it's holding back on knowledge or speaking teachings philosophically. I mean, it's deep knowledge here. In a turmoil, or turmoil with others, arguments with others. Wanting to fight information, having a battle with information within the self, turning around what is right, what is the right thing to do. We have an offer. We have the Eight of Pentacles. And then this bunch fell out. There's the offer for marriage. The Knight of Wands is working it out. This is karmic. So the Five of Wands is our knight here, struggling. He's working through. That would be Six of Wands, because he wants a victory. He wants to get a proposal out into the open and make an offer for marriage. But then there's a Three. This Three of Pentacles is work that was done in the past. It's representing that it's been approved, that there's a foundation of justice that is set. But that inner turmoil, and not just inner turmoil, but speaking truth and battling with speaking the truth. So this Knight, and then there's this Knight of Cups, having new ideas, wanting to make change, going round and round in his head. And I say his head because I do take the suits seriously with their positioning. You know, if it's a king and a prince or a knight, I do reflect it on the masculine. And because we've shifted in so many ways as human beings, it's not just enough to say the king is a man, because women rule as men and take on the position of men. So if you feel like you are the one leading a relationship and you are a woman, then you would be put into the position of that knight who is trying to, or struggling with, not trying to, but struggling with deciding on making that proposal based on what's been going on from the past. And how far back is, it could be 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 years even. There's control. There's that leadership. Again, it could be control, it could be leadership. It depends, eh? I mean, it's random messages that I'm getting, but they're very clear cut when it says that the Knave of Wands is innovative and wanting to lead and work on things that were done in the past, that were set up in the past. And how far back in the past? Like I said, it's 7 weeks, 7 months, 7 years. It's all about love and the intuition, wanting to marry, getting that satisfaction through marriage intuitively. Again, this is touching on the first two elements. I'm seriously thinking that all elements are going to be affected by the lesson on the 4th. And I have been in that dilemma of putting out my readings for the elements because the messages are very, very similar. There is treachery involved in making change, strategy, a plan to create a change in life. There is a loss. There is this Queen of Pentacles who is nurturing love, being very creative and starting anew, but wanting, see that 9 and the 1 there? That behind the scenes, trying to create a disturbance in a marriage. Again, it's coming up. It's the same cards. I mean, I'm trying so hard to not feed into the negativity with how I present the reading, but it is what it is. And if you are in an emotional turmoil with a friend or a lover over another, because it's about a third party situation, there's no getting around that. Wanting to fix a relationship from the beginning into a third party situation. So the plan is to trap. Again, it's coming around with the same elements. Sorry, the first two elements, earth and fire. And we are all affected. We are all given the choice as to we want to be in a third party or we don't. And I say we are all. Fit it to your situation. If you are not being prompted to join in a group, then it's not that you're not affected, it's just if it's going to affect you differently. It is how you see your relationship with another. And this is where you get to reflect. And as an element of water, it is very emotional. So you're going to feel that instinct. Following intuition is the best advice that you could have on a reading where a third party for romance situation, a romantic situation, is being schemed and plotted into. If you are feeling that you're going in that direction and you don't want to, then the best thing is to sit back, take a think about it, have a cup of tea even. See where you really want to go with the relationship that you are in. There's no fear here when you hear the truth, or when you see and know the truth right before your eyes. There is no fear. There is understanding, and then there is decision making. That's where the Emperor comes in. And this is why I say, if you are a woman and you are aware that you are getting pulled into a relationship, or that you are already in a relationship that may be going in the direction of a third party situation, and you are aware of it, then you will take a stand and you will take your leadership to where it needs to go. The layout stays the same as the previous reads, where the first line is the viewer. The second line is people that you are associated with in your circle. And the third line is the outcome of this read. Let's see what we have. At the bottom of the deck we have the King of Swords. Sorry, the King of Pentacles. It's because he has a sword. I'm going with the sword. So the King of Pentacles is that emperor on earth, and there is a healing here. The 14, temperance. This king is tempering his expression of communication, his partying. You know, his communication. His emotional communication is being tempered. He's being focused concerning a marriage with this Queen of Pentacles. You see? There it is. Celebration. Healing. This king will heal. If this Queen of Pentacles, his queen. See, they open the doorway for the 11 here. 11 of Pentacles. Comes to 1. He wants his happiness with his queen. He's regretting. And that intuition is making him remember the loss of his queen. The marriage that he had. And he wants to heal that. A new beginning. He's focused on going out and healing. King wants to heal. It's possible that he lost his queen. Or he's thinking of it. Emotionally, he's regretting. Or is it the queen that is regretting? Putting an end. Working. It can go all ways, huh? There's marriage, it's being put into a whole other perspective. The truth, this Knave of Swords, from the past, this betrayal, this karmic. Again, there's that, these two that fell out, this Two of Swords, this king is King of Wands, Two of Swords, Seven of Swords. There's treachery involved here. But it's karmic, and it is about being in relationships and settling, wanting to settle. You see, here's a heartbreak. Anyway, let's look at the first line here, because it's going all over the place already. So lots of conversation, very creative, a new beginning, wanting to tell the truth. There's 9 of Wands here, so this is like, it's difficult. It's difficult to speak. And again, it's very passionate with the emotional connection to the water, the element. It's going to be very passionate because the king wants to heal. He wants to heal. He wants to go out. He wants to have his 10 pentacles. He wants his legacy with the queen. He wants that. See, he wants his queen. He wants to heal. There is regret. And there's intuition. And then there's that intuition is instinctive, eh? Because of the loss, he wants to replace, he wants to fill that loss. He wants to heal from that loss that he had. Where he is taking the relationship to a higher level. He wants to do it. Now, wanting to do it and doing it is a whole other avenue. But because he's very determined, this 9 here, this 8 and the 1 here, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it the last chance because protecting what he loves. You see, he, and I say he. I'm referring to this King of Pentacles here, and this King of Pentacles, yes, it does represent Earth, but it is the water element that I'm dealing with, and it does not matter if it is the King of Cups or the King of Pentacles. The reason the King of Pentacles is showing in this layout here with the bottom of the deck is because he is the one in charge. He is taking that lead. He is taking control. He's standing up for what he wants. He's addressing his passion, his love, the queen in his life. He wants to be with his queen. And he is doing what he needs to do to get that. He is being very protective about the truth. May even be holding back on the truth because he is a little worried because it is a 9 and he's trying to heal. And again, there is loss here. Between the queen and the intuition, you see, losing something, giving up something, instinctively knowing that he has to give up something. That's what the first line is, and let's see how it fits in here. We have the 8 with the destiny, and then there's the 9. So this 8 of Wands, being able to communicate and going with the flow of what destiny is offering, will bring that independence, that financial independence. And it's not just because it's Pentacles, it's about money. I will say, yes, it is about money, but it is what is valuable. See here, what is valuable. That's what really matters. What is valuable. And what is valuable is what comes from having this conversation, this mastery, this knowing what you want, saying the right things, following destiny, not just saying the right thing, but following destiny and allowing things to play out. It's going to bring a satisfaction. But then there is this 3 of Swords that comes in the end. There's a disappointment in love here that's divinely guided. This disappointment needs to take place. And this is a healing as well, because it is an ending, but it is in the past. So we need to look at a repetition that's being put to an end. Again, it reflects into the 4th of August, and I'm not gonna put anything to the side because I don't want to bring in the lesson. I'm compelled. I don't want to talk about the third party situation. I don't. Who wants to hear about that? Well, it could be good gossip, but we need to rise above those baser passions, that wanting to muddy the water of a pure relationship just because it is a pure relationship. There's so much that we could accomplish that I find it difficult to believe that destroying a relationship is an accomplishment, because everybody gets hurt. It's including the person who wants to destroy the relationship. That person in particular is the one who gets the heaviest of hits. The burden is on them at the end. They will feel the hurt more than the other two. We won't go into why. That's a lesson. That is a lesson. But it's just to show that and I'm just talking about this line here, that disappointment it's disappointing yourself, it's breaking your own heart taking away from another person is, first of all, you're taking away from yourself. You denying another person happiness is just saying that you want to deny yourself happiness. You just don't see that logic. You see, when I say you, the person who is destroying the relationship, they only see the gratification from their point of view. I am destroying this relationship and I'm happy doing it. Are you really happy doing it? Come on. Because you know what you do to others comes back around and hits you in the end. And if you are trying to destroy a relationship, then you getting into one, someone will come and destroy it. And it may not even happen in this lifetime, but you will live to see that. And that is a disappointment in itself. And I haven't even gone into taking other cards yet. This is it's emotional, and this is the water element. So it runs very deep, like our King of Cups. That's why his cup is so big, because everything runs so deep with the water element. Again, we have the ace here, Ace of Cups. So this is a new beginning. This is abundance. This is self-love before anything. And then this is where we have that conversation that is divinely guided to renew love. See, that is where we heal this broken heart, this disappointment, where you've been disappointed. There's a renewal because of the disappointment, because of the love, because of what we hold dear. We're able to walk away and create new ideas and rise above what it is that we love, what we hold dear, what we hold as values. We take that. You see, what we hold dear, people can't take from us. I mean, if you're talking about physical and financial, yes, physical things can be taken, destroyed, and stolen, okay? That can be taken. But what you believe in and what you hold up as what would be your higher power, nobody could take that from you. Your integrity, nobody could take it from you. You decide if you want to lower your standards or rise above. You decide where your integrity lies. Nobody could take that from you. And because you know that, going forward, you give yourself that freedom to just walk away and say, you know what, I don't want this, I want that. And you give yourself that abundance. You give it, you go and you reach for it and you take it. And again, it is divinely guided. This is turning out to be a beautiful reading. Okay, I'm having fun now. So we have our third line here. We have the Knave, which is another ace here. This is the truth. This is finding out the truth. This is seeking out the truth. This is holding on to the truth. This is healing truth right here in this picture, where he is resting. He is resting in what is the arms of the earth, if you will. Whether he's dead or alive, this Knave of Swords here is reckoning with the night that's here, and for everything that he stood for. He has learned the truth, or is learning the truth, and holding on to everything that was represented by the life of this night, because the end of this story within the card is he goes on to become the night. So he takes the information, he takes where things stop, and he just maneuvers with that and says, okay, this is where it is, and now where do I want to go from here? And again, this is a night of truth. This is the beginning of a night. It's like the end and the beginning. As there is an end, there is a beginning. So we see that life gives us this ease of there must be an end in order to have a beginning. Things must die in order for life to continue. And that is where you change your perspective. You see where you were, where you are, and where you want to go in this card. That innovation to investigating the truth in the traditional deck, and in digging in and researching and learning and focusing on what it is you need to know and what you're curious about. And here in the second line we have the Ace of Pentacles, which is an offer. So the truth about an offer is based on what happened in the past. And that is where we need to take some cards, because I'm so glad that this is on a whole other level, but it's still affected by the lesson on the 4th. And we're going to start with, what is this? 8 of Wands. Just let's get this going. There's the King of Cups. See? Again, like I was saying, it doesn't matter if it's King of Cups or King of Pentacles, the emotion is there. Very high. This King is very, very intuitive and following his intuition. And it could be a woman who is taking on a leadership role. If you feel you are more of a man than you are a woman, if you look like a woman, take it as it resonates. But you are in the midst of making an offer, and you want to make the offer, but the devil is going to hold it back. And this is where it reflects on the lesson of the 4th. Making new plans, this king, to walk away, taking his time, making plans, working on the details. That anxiety is what I was talking about. Again, it connects to the other 2 element readings, and I'm not going to stop saying that. This is a very, very deep lesson of communication, and me being able to connect them all is my way of communicating that this difficult time, because this is a very difficult time. We have the 9 of Swords coming up here, and all 3 elements. This is in the first element reading, I think it came in like it's coming in now, with digging into what the symbolism is in the cards. The other element reading, I think the card was already on in one of the lines. I may be wrong, but the fact is it came up in both, and I'm saying the same thing because of reciprocity and because of change. See, there's direction here for a new beginning. Again, these 2 cards have come together so far in all of the element readings. A new beginning with the Queen of Wands. See, all the kings and the queens that are not matching up. Okay, because this is the King of Cups here with the Queen of Wands. It would be the water sign with the fire sign, and that's very fiery and very emotional and very sexual and very, very quick movements, because she's racing. She wants it done in her own way, and he's just wanting to heal the love. So the perspectives are showing up here with the emotional side. And that transformation, okay, is to end the anxiety. That queen will have a new beginning. And now it is in layers. So, and we remember that the Queen of Wands is that other woman. So I'm just going to put it straightforward to you, the viewer, who is looking to see who the other woman is in your relationship, if that is where you are placed in a third party situation. That new beginning is either with you, because your king is going to walk away from that other woman and come back to you, or you are going to walk away from that king. Now you take it as it resonates. again, in the lesson on the 4th, I did say that you will have enough information to make your decision. And there it is, the conversation that must be had to bring about what is going on, what is details that have been working on, what is your king up to, what is your queen up to, depending on where you sit, if you are male or female, and who is feeling the anxiety. If you, the viewer, are feeling this anxiety, then you are the one that needs to decide if you're going to walk away or stay or break up that relationship. If it is, there is a third party, or if you're planning on getting into a third party, you may change your mind because you're working it out. You're working out the details, and you know that this is a reciprocity. This is justice taking place here. This is a karmic connection that we have going on, especially when it's intuitive, because we're following instincts. We're following instincts going into a relationship. Now the devil is putting on a stop, because the following of the instincts is to say, well, I really want to be in a relationship, but there's a compromise. See, changing of the plan. That's why the devil is saying, no, change this plan and walk away from it. Take your time. Work out what it is you really want, because this is 9 Pentacles here. Again, this is the legacy and the making. And then we have the nine of Swords. So it's a mental battle going on with the self. This is anxiety that is personal to us, each one of us, whether we're anxious that we're getting into this relationship of being in a third party, or we're in the relationship and we're trying to figure our way out, because it's the same thing with the other elements. It is going to be justice because of this anxiety. The right choice will be made, and then a change will come. We can be confident in that. If you want to take anything away from this reading, I do not want to confuse anybody who feels that they are in a relationship that is solid. And this is not for you. This is on another level for you. This is how you may be feeling that anxiety of getting to the point of asking for your partner's hand. And this is where your honesty, what you believe in and what your truth is, comes in, and your ability to speak. But from going in deeper, it is a question of, what are you anxious about? You need to take your time and work through those details. You need to walk away from something, and maybe it is in the culmination, because the 9 is a culmination. You've been through a lot. We've been through a lot over the past few months. Okay, it's been, again, go back 2 months ago and see where you were and how you feel now about where you were then, and you'll understand why the devil has come in, because the devil is stopping a relationship from going to a higher ground. And it is a temporary thing. It is to make sure that we are completely and fully aware of what we're getting into and with whom we're getting into. Because the King of Cups holds secrets. He's been wounded. If you go and look at the history of this king, he's been wounded. And he wants to heal. And this too is another layer of what this reading would represent. Being able to heal sexually. Figuring out what you really love and holding back. Because you're not sure, because you want more truth, because you want to work it through, because you don't want to just base it on sex. Again, it's very deep. It's very, very deep. But there is truth involved and love involved because of what we hold dear. And this is the turmoil that we're fighting with in the month of August. To do, not to do, to be, not to be, to say, not to say, who to say what to. How many relationships do you have going on that you're feeling you're pushed and pulled in the middle? It could be with work, because again, the pentacles are coming up here. But the work that you're doing, the deck just cracked open, is about conversation here, what your mental. Again, this was very prominent lessons before the 4th, coming up to the 4th, the 2nd and the 3rd even, where this working out the truth, you know. This is hard work, this 8 of Swords. But it is communication, it is mental dilemma going through your mind, going over the details. It goes from the 8 to the 9, the 9 to the 8. It's up and down, and then you're thinking about what it is you really want, and you're going to be guided, because now we have the transformation of love and happiness. It's a growing change. Now we take it as it resonates. You can take this to say, well, I'm going to destroy a relationship, but Spirit isn't going to allow that. And you could take this to say, I want to start and get into this and build on this beautiful relationship. And Spirit is going to put a hold on that to make sure that that is what you really want. And not just you, but the next person too. Where both of you are going through, or 3 of you are going through mind. The mind is working hard here. What is it that I really want? You see, we're all asking that question. What is it that I really want? Especially when we have doubts being thrown at us. So what is this 3 of Swords? Let's just get a little more perspective. Again, it's an ending. Putting down the burden. Going off into smooth waters. Bringing in the balance. There's that obsession with the 9 of Cups. So creating an imbalance for an obsession. And I will say, I refer to it as drinking too much. So we have that coming back. But this drinking too much is just because it's a cup. It could be sexual too. That obsession to have sex with different partners, or to have sex games with different partners, or one in particular that is guiding and leading this game that is causing it will cause a heartbreak, a disappointment. The Knight of Wands, player mode with the Queen of Wands. So we have, see, with a new beginning, you see here, this is where the healing will come in. And that Knight of Wands following this Queen, it's going to start a whole new start for sex. Again, it's to make the offer for happiness and truth and ending a cycle. That's where that eight of Wands comes in. Making an offer for happiness and truth. Again, with the ego. A victory, which is to be had, and then the 9 of Swords. Again, the 8 and the 1 make 9, which comes into ending a cycle. So something is just definitely going to end, and something. It's a relationship. It's a relationship that has been not. You see, it's a Knight of Wands with the Queen of Wands. So that king, he's on a whole other level. He's not on the same level as the Queen, and that is because of the obsession. So ending and putting down the burden, moving off into smooth waters, is what is desired here. To have that freedom, but the freedom to be in an imbalanced, obsessive relationship with the Queen of Wands, which will be a new beginning, a new adventure for sex that is promiscuous and egotistical, that will create anxiety and end the cycle. And it won't go far. That's why this communication is divinely guided here, as we see where it's going to end up. And it's not going to go far. So again, bring in some kind of relief to the emotional element. See, the water element, because emotions are going to be high, especially when you have readings that keep talking about third party situation and manipulating and confusing and coercing people into third party relationships. This is where you get some reciprocity. Again, an ending, another ending. Okay? Your third party situation, for those of you who are very concerned, it will end. Because you will know, and your knowing is detrimental to them, the third party. They don't want you to know. That's the whole point. They want to be in control of your life without you even knowing it. And that spirit isn't going to allow that. Unless you want it to be so. If you say, well, you know what, I don't care as long as I get what I get from my partner, they could do whatever they want. If you're happy in that, then that is where it'll go. But somebody will not be happy. If it's not going to be you, it's going to be your partner or the third person. Somebody isn't going to be happy, and it's going to end. Let's see what the Knave of Swords represents here. Change in direction, healing, manipulating, fighting, getting what you want, getting back what was taken from you, and of course this forgiveness, the truth. See, that forgiveness, and the Knave of Wands. So we have two solid beginnings again, and then it is this going into the love, and then the Tower coming down for integrity's sake. That is what all this truth is. Again, we have to remember, Spirit is doing a lot here. We start off with this Chariot, which is our will to heal. Healing and speaking the truth. See, healing those mind games. Manipulating and trying to get upper hand in a relationship. Looking for forgiveness because of trying to take that upper hand and taking back what was taken, because it was manipulation at its best, to get back what was stolen, just to rectify and forgive, and to come now to say, please, I want forgiveness, or I will forgive. Because that's what this resting here is, taking that time. It's like following the advice from the lesson, saying you need to take time out and sit and think and go through whatever it is that you really want. And that is what is taking place here. So we have to see that most of us who are following our I don't know what to call it. You're following the path to enlightenment. Let's call it that. You're working hard at rising above and making change in your life, because you've seen enough nonsense, and you've put yourself through a lot of suffering, because you have a lot of battles. Remember, we had the Nine of Wands adding up here. At the very beginning, it started with that. Eight of Wands and the Ace of Wands. That makes the 9. So you've been through enough to know this time now in my life, I want something different. And I'm saying it because it's true. we all do. When we get to a certain age, we start seeing, okay, you know what, I've done this, I've done that, and I want something else now. And that is continuing the adventure of life. That's where that fool came in, down here. See, a new adventure. A new adventure. And you want that. We do. We all do. We're human. That's why we're here. We came down here on this plane to have adventures. But we need to remember that our integrity is everything. Without that, it's just a pile of rubble, a waste of time, because somebody else is feeding off of our energy, and we need to protect what we love and protect what we hold dear. Okay, for this offer to be worthy. And let's see what the Seven of Pentacles is. We'll close off on this one, because it is all about going into your relationship. Seven of Swords, double seven. Bored with the thievery and treachery and conspiracy, taking a lead and humbling the self before our... I like to see it like that. And it's not that I make it up. It's just the way the cards are falling. If this Emperor and this Five of Pentacles come together, it's because the Emperor is falling down and he's going on his knees. He's being brought to his knees. And when I say he, again, it could be a woman. It's not necessarily just a man. See the perspective that you have in a relationship where you as the woman, where your role really is. Are you really leading the relationship, or are you being tricked? Are you following? What are you doing in your own relationships? See where you stand. Go back in time, because this is all based on what took place in the past, what you've set up, projects that you've worked on. Again, this could be work related. It's not just for romantic relationships. If you feel like you're being robbed of the work that you've put in, double seven is hard. It's not supposed to be easy. Now we have a triple seven here. But this is about your relationship and feeling lack or a sense of missing. You're missing being in that loving relationship. You're missing it. You're bored with the treachery. You want to be in a real relationship. You want to have that house and home feeling, that solidified connection. You want it, and it's quite clear that it is for you to have. King of Swords is saying so, and then the Nine of Wands, and then the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Cups. By the moon, it is destiny. You will have your victory, and you will have your truth. And you will end another cycle of healing, and justice will be served. This is not justice. This is the courage to move on. But justice will be served, because Spirit will make sure. I keep mixing up these two cards. But the courage to heal and end the cycle because of the truth is going to be the victory. And you will take that chance, because destiny says it is your time. It will happen by the next phase of the moon, or at least by the full moon. And then there is that connection, that wanting to be in love and have your marriage. You want it. You want to go with it. It's a last stand. It's a last chance. And the King of Swords is going to take that chance. Sorry about that. Just had a little disturbance. So let's take an oracle message, because I love that ending on good news here. Emotionally speaking, we are going to work it out. Okay, we're going to all work it out. This month of I keep saying September. Wow, September will prove to be coming to the edge. It's in the reverse. We have the Fates, and we have time for a nap. Yeah, need to relax. Need to relax. These cards are upside down. They're all upside down. Am I right? Yeah, no, they're not all upside down. I'm going to keep that one though. I just want to get the shuffle. What is the Oracle message for this lesson? Thank you. I'm saying it again for the lesson. Again, it develops into a lesson, and I probably will make a lesson on this, but it's not up to me to choose the lesson. It will come when it comes. Here's the next card. Message in a bottle, but it's in reverse. I'll keep it anyway. All right, one more shuffle and we're going to cut. Because it's very deep, and again, it's in layers. Tarot is not black and white. It may appear one way and then it'll turn out to be something else, and we have to respect that. What is the Oracle message for this reading for the water elements? Take one card. There it is, the Fates. It had to come back. And being blessed. Why are all these cards upside down? Okay, if it's upside down, it's upside down. We have to look at the protection. We are being blessed. The blessings are here for us. Okay, this relationships in general, divinely guided, transformation, end of a cycle. These are major arcana cards. We even have the destiny card showing up. So take heart. If you are in a turmoil of I don't trust and I don't know, then that's a good thing because you're protecting yourself. Spirit is giving you that. Remember the lesson on the 4th of August. I want you to go look at it. Protecting what you love. If you don't feel pushed and pulled, it's because you don't care about anything. You're just going with the way things are. But let's look at blessed. And that would be the 22. Because I'm curious on why it is upside down. 22. Let's go take a look. Because I want you to feel that you have that choice. And Spirit gives us that. Just have to have a little faith. Just a little faith. 23. Just before the peace. And that 8 of Swords. Going off into peaceful waters. Something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected. Grace that is an unforeseen gift from the Spirit. Now if it is in reverse, making like it's going to be taken away. Humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you have hit rock bottom, and what is required now is nothing less than total surrender. Then you will be blessed. So you got to humble yourself, and somebody is going to do it. Whether it is you, the viewer, or whether it is your partner, somebody is going to humble themselves. And that's what I've been saying over the past days with the lessons going, that this king needs to humble himself. King of Wands needs to humble himself. Now let's look at the Fates, because that too is in the reverse. Lots of protection going on here. The 17 is a star, so that would be the destiny card. And what would have been before is the 16. Let's see what that was. All that glitters. So you see the facade has come down. The truth has come out. And the fate is karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. And now it's in the reverse. So let's see what the protection is. It is difficult to understand why painful things happen to good people. Fate is a mystery after all. Yet what we do with our circumstances, the way in which we respond to life's challenges, is how we rise up to greet our destiny. Now is one of those times to be aware of your powerlessness to change certain situations and surrender to acceptance. Hang in there. Life will only get better. Act as if you believe that. For the only thing you can control right now is your attitude. When you align with the fates, being mindful of what you can and cannot change, serenity will come to you. Again, this is for those of you who are being tossed and turned and you feel like you're in a trapped relationship or you're getting into one. Walk away. Have faith. Have faith. Walking away is pretty much the safest thing for you right now. That is for some of us. But check your own humility. What do you believe in? Where's your pride? Tower is coming down. Is it on your pride? Is it on someone else's pride? Tower is coming down. Message in a bottle. Let's go to the 15. That is where the devil comes in. And that is actually before this, the 16, which is the all that glitters isn't gold. And we're going back. Message in a bottle. Communication. It's a sign. The ancient name for a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker is a Cledon. Get some clarity, pointing the way to your highest good, but it is in the reverse. So let's see what the relationship. No, protection. Are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? Red flags are not pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warning you for a reason. If something doesn't sit right with you, trouble could be hiding in the bushes. Don't ignore the signs. Spirit always has your best interests at heart and will draw your attention to what you are overlooking. You see, protection again. Sit with what you feel. Know that there are people out there who are not so genuine in their offers. And know the partnership that you are in. And if there is an inch of uncertainty, then there will be miles of betrayal and not the 7 of Wands, but the 7 of Swords. We saw that, where there's thievery. One of the piles now. I think it was up on top. It might be up here. But you know what we saw it. You know it's in here. Pay attention. There are people who are not wanting your happiness to go into a true sense of happiness. They're wanting to use your relationship for obsessive behaviors. Let's see what come to the edges. 36, again, a 9. 6s and 9s. Again, the lesson of the 4th of August. I'm promoting it because it is a tight and tough spot to be in when you are pushed and pulled within a relationship. 36. Come to the edge. Now what was before would be the loyal heart. So there is a loyalty, but to whom and to what was my question. And that would have been on the lesson to on the 3rd. So you still can go back from the 4th to the 3rd, or from the 3rd to the 4th. It's up to you. Come to the edge. Courage. Taking a leap of faith. Overcoming fear and accepting risk. So this is a good one, but it is in the reverse, so we must read the protection. Fear. Again, I started off saying do not have fear, but there is fear because we are emotional. Our connectivity with emotions brings in fear. Fear is leading the way into places you don't need to go. Most of what you fear at the moment is an illusion stemming from an old belief that isn't even true. Now is a time for courage. You will not be lost at sea. You will not watch everyone else get what you want while you are left alone and unloved. Oh, the drama of it all. False evidence appearing real. That's what fear means. False evidence appearing real is hovering over you. The more you dwell on fear, the more real it will become. Ask yourself, who in me is afraid? Love that part of you. Ask, is this time? And ask, is this true and real right now? The answer most likely is no. Give yourself a hug. It's okay to be scared. Courage must be summoned in spite of your fear. Even when you're not feeling confident, Spirit will always catch you. And we saw it at the end. Look, courage, right there. And I was calling it destiny, but it's justice. But it is courage, and it is healing, an ending of a cycle. The truth will end the cycle and heal. But you must have courage for all this to take place, for that victory to happen, because it will happen, and you will move into smooth waters. But you must grow and change and accept things for what they are, and know that Spirit is helping us. Like every card we got was upside down, but there it is. We are to be turned and put to be upside down, the hangman position. That's what all this is saying. Take a perspective. Look into what you really believe and what you really love and who you want to be with and the reasons why you want to be with them. And then Spirit will help you and say, well, the pros fall this way, the cons fall that way. But you have your integrity, and you have the courage, and you have everything that you could possibly need and want, and it's just a matter of sharing it. And if you are true to yourself, then Spirit will not bring people into your life to trap you and make you suffer for the rest of your life. Spirit will help you find a way to go through those people, probably helping them along the way. And with that, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next read, Water Elements, Love and Life.